And then as you close the mouth, we want to inhale, exhale just through the nose. Working? Okay. All right. Oh, is my volume down? Oh, I turned my volume up. Is that better? Yeah? Okay, good. All right. So as you start to work on the breathing, remember we want it to feel natural, but what are you guys doing? Oh, okay. Screen off or camera off. I hope that's what you're doing. Okay. Natural but focused, right? So the focus is trying to allow the breath to start expanding into the body. Taking the breath in, we want to get below the throat here. We want to start to feel the chest rise up. The exhalations are going to help us relax even more. So as you're exhaling, if you feel tension in the body, or even just kind of visualizing that there's tension in the body, and as you exhale, we're letting that tension go. So inhaling again, and now starting to allow the breath to come further. We're going to start with the chest, the ribs, the lung, eventually getting to the belly. However quickly that happens for you, it's up to you. Don't force it. We want to try to keep our awareness of the breathing as we're moving. It's harder to do for sure. But as long as you don't revert to that normal, shallow, fast breathing, you're pretty good. And when you get into a pose, I try to remind you, but if you just get into a pose and you're kind of feeling it, you're enjoying where you are, then check with yourself and make sure that you are still utilizing that breath to help you as much as possible. So we're going to do 3 more breaths here. Again, allow it to come into the breath, into the body, expand all the way here. All those exhalations, still letting go of tension, and don't try to match my breath. Listen to your own body, or do your own breath work, however long it may be compared to what I'm doing. We're going to do 1 more here. Now we're going to slowly bend the knees, bring the feet on the mat, but we're still focused on the breath. You can lift the hips up, move them down a little bit. We want to try to keep the neck long, broaden the shoulders, just like when we're standing in our mountain pose, broaden them, but then don't push them into the mat using energy. We're going to relax. Bring the arms right next to you. All the while staying focused on the breathing. All right. And then inhale. Let's bring the arms into it, bring them up and overhead. And exhale, bring the arms back down. So that was the first one. And you might have changed your breath a little bit, but now I want you to really focus on that next inhale. Only bring the arms up and completely overhead as you're finishing that first breath in. And use the whole exhalation to bring the arms back down. Let's do a couple more like that. So really feel that breath coming in and lengthening. Feel those fingertips reach as far back as possible. Use the full exhalation to bring the arms back down. Now we're going to try to feel this more than just the hands and the fingers. So as we're inhaling, I'm just going to use only one hand, and we're feeling this lengthening through the arm, through the shoulder, into the sides of the body. So we're hoping to feel a little bit more lengthening and extending every time those arms come over the head. We've got 2 more here. We're still feeling this into the belly. And then we're going to exhale, bring the arms back down. Let's do 1 more. And then back down. Now, take the arms and just move them away from you a little bit. We'll come back to the arms in just a moment. Make sure you've got a little room on either side of you. I've got to scoot over just a tiny bit here. We're going to do an easy twist with the knees, and it's just 1 breath per movement as we start. So I want you to inhale here. As you exhale, let the knees go right. Don't try to keep them together. They're very separate. And then we're gonna, as soon as you need to inhale, the knees come back up to the middle, and then we exhale and drop them. So they may not even get all the way to the mat on that exhale. Inhale, bring them back up. Let's try that again. So exhale, drop the knees to the right. Inhale, bring them back up. So one knee might be getting to the mat, but the other one definitely isn't. You're on the inside edge of that foot. But it really allows you to hit the hips a little bit differently than when we do our standard twist with whether the feet are together on the floor or they're together off the floor, off the mat. So just I want you to go right and left 2 more times each on your own. One breath per movement, so bring them up as you inhale, drop them as you exhale, bring them up as you inhale. Now go back to the right. I want you to stay there longer. So maybe you're able to get that right knee down, left knee kind of hovering near the back of the right leg. Open the arms however high you can, maybe shoulder height. And then I want you to look opposite, look to the left. If you're noticing any tension in the neck anywhere, just stay there a little bit longer. Really focus your breathing into those tight areas. One more inhale here. One more exhale. Now inhale, bring the knees up, bring the head up. Drop the knees left as you exhale. And now, once you've got the knees over there, look to the right. One more full breath here. All right, bring the knees back up, inhale. Now, we've got our knees in place, our feet in place, knees lined up again. Bring the arms back. We're going to do a little bit more range of motion work for the shoulders. So maybe not necessarily a yoga pose per se, but just kind of getting those shoulders moving the way that we do the hips a lot of times. So what I want you to do is, I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to take the arms over the head as we inhale. Now, as we exhale, we're not going to do a complete snow angel. I want you to bend the elbows. Bring the elbows down alongside the body. Keep the palms up if you can as you come all the way down here. And then you're going to turn the palms back to the mat. So inhale, reach up and overhead. Palms are to the ceiling now. Try to keep your palms like that. Bend the elbows. Pull the upper arms in. And then allow those arms to kind of half circle in. Let's do 2 more like that. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, keep those palms open. If we were standing up, we'd really be able to squeeze our shoulder blades tight on this one, but we're not doing that here. Then the arms come here. Turn them over last time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring those elbows into the sides of the body and then the arms, and then bring them down. And now let's just go into that half snow angel, full extension of the arms. Inhale up. Exhale, bring them, keep them long as you bring them back alongside, and you can turn the palms over at any point now, whatever you feel like you need to with those shoulders. We're going to do 3 one way. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the arms back down. And maybe one more. I can't remember how many I've done, so we'll just do the other side. We'll just try to do 4 the other side. Bring them back down. Bring the arms here, take a breath in and out. All right, we're going to do the opposite. So probably you're going to want to turn the palms up right away because we're going to inhale, take the arms away from you, half circle up and overhead. And now exhale, they come back to the mat. So same thing, soften the elbows if it helps you. Take the arms out and as far away as you can, finishing overhead. Exhale, bring the arms back down. Let's do 2 more like that. So inhale, reach out and up. And exhale back down. Let's do 1 more. We're going to do just a very little bit more of hip warm up before we come up off the mat. So just hold the arms alongside you. Take another breath or 2 here. Again, still feel this all the way to the belly. It's important that we have that happening every time. All right, now Bring the arms over the head, inhale. This exhale, you're just gonna pull that right knee into the chest, and we're just gonna keep it there. Now feel your lower back kind of pressing more into the mat here. One more breath. And then slowly extend that right foot. Take the hands anywhere on the leg. You don't have to straighten the knee if that's not feeling good right now. Flex the toes towards you. And then point the toes away from you. And flex and point. Let's do a few of those. All right, it starts to warm up a bit. You can start moving that ankle in a circular motion around. Get the full range of motion that you can. Okay, and then you're gonna go the other way too. And do a little easy extension here. Maybe press the heel away, let the knee relax, press it away. And bend the knee and just do a few circles with the hip. So moving the knee around, up and out a few times. And then go the other way. Again, not too much on the hips today. I'm going to try to focus on more shoulders as you were asking. So go ahead and bring that foot back down. Make sure the hips and everything are in place again. Inhale, bring the arms up. On this next exhale, bring your left knee in, pull the knee to the chest. And then we extend the left foot up. Start out by flexing, so the toes are kind of flexing back towards you, towards your upper body. And then press the ball of the foot and then point. So again, wherever you are comfortable holding that leg. And then when that feels like it's warming up a little bit, go ahead and start circling. All right, both ways. All right, and just a little bit of an extension here, just a couple times. Press the heel away. Then let the knee bend. Move the knee around, work into that hip a little bit. All right, let's go the other way. All right, after that hip is a little bit warmed up, let's bring both knees into the chest, roll the back a little bit. And then just go ahead and rock yourself up. And we're gonna face forward for a minute. So you can sit cross-legged. You can have your legs extended or even out in a straddle, excuse me, however you like, but just something that you can be in for a couple minutes. And we just do a little bit more shoulder and upper body warm up. I'm going to start sitting like this, and I may have to cross the other way at some point. We'll see how it goes. So sitting tall, roll those shoulders back, all right? So just as if you were in mountain pose, spread the chest out, right? The shoulder blades pull apart and down. Bring the arms up, inhale. Exhale, I want you to bring one hand to the side and that other arm up and over. So you don't want the arm to come down onto the head. You don't want the body to start closing off inward, right? We want the fingertips to be reaching to the opposite, let's say like the opposite side of the room where the ceiling and wall come together. Inhale, bring both up. Exhale, go the other way. So this hand is down here just for support. I want you to feel as if you're reaching up and then over. Now listen to your body, listen to your shoulders. If you don't want to go very far, that's fine, but really feel those fingertips stretching up and over. You can go lower on this arm, coming down to the elbow if you like. And inhale, bring both arms back up. Exhale, bring them down, roll the shoulders up and back. And then roll them forward a couple times. We don't do this one as much because a lot of times it gets people into that forward rounding back, which we don't want. But we want the movement, right? We want our shoulders to move in all directions. So once you've done that a few times, straighten back up. We're going to do each one more time. So arms up, inhale. Exhale, go to one side again. Keep both hips on the mat. Bring those fingertips up and over. Option to look up under that arm. And inhale, bring both up. Exhale, go to the other side. Same thing. So reach up first and then go up and over. Same thing. You can look kind of up under the arm if that feels good. And inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, bring those arms down. Just rest your hands on the legs anywhere. I want you to sit as tall as possible. Bring your chin to the chest. Now inhale, lift your chin to the middle. Exhale, chin to the chest again. This time, inhale, lift the chin just a little more than eye level, but keep the back of the neck long. And exhale, chin down. Inhale, chin up. Exhale, chin down. Inhale, back up, and then exhale to the middle. Now, easy head tilt to one side. Inhale, back up. Head tilt to the other side. And back up. Now, I'm going to take my one hand, right hand up to the opposite side of my head, and as I pull over, it's always gentle, I'm going to take that opposite hand and kind of touch my fingertips. I'm not going to push too hard. I don't want a lot of tension, but just press the fingertips down and pull the head over gently. Stay there, option one. Option two is just turn your chin, kind of look beyond that knee. Again, if that's too much, just stay with the eyes forward. And come back up. Let's try the other side. So take that other hand up and over. Fingertips come to the side of the head. Gently pulling over. This hand, fingertips down. Again, if you push the arm down, it kind of creates a lot of tension, or the hand down here. So we're just going to keep the fingertips touching. And then I can stay here, or I can kind of tilt my chin and look down past that left or that other leg. I don't want to say right and left. I don't know where you are. Okay, and come back up. Uncross the legs. Shake them out a little bit. Whew. Okay, let's come on to our hands and knees. So get everything lined up. You know how it should be, right? Make sure that you just don't lock those elbows out, right? Elbows are long. Our arms are long. Elbows are a little soft. Not bent. All right, now take a breath in. Get as long as you can from tailbone to the crown of the head, as if somebody just kind of pulled a string and lengthened you in both directions. Inhale that. The exhale, we're going into our cat pose right away, so pull the belly in as you go into that arch and allow your head to just hang. Feel the back of the neck really lengthening here. Inhale, come to flat back, and now lift into cow pose. Just going to do a little tilt here with the chest and the tailbone as we come into that cow pose, and exhale, cat pose. And you might not feel like it looks a lot different from your straight back all fours, but we're just going for that little curve at each end. Exhale, arch up. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Two more times. All right, last one. Now come back to all fours. Inhale, exhale, child's pose. Bring the hips back. Do whatever makes it comfortable for you. Arms can be in, forward, or alongside. But for right now, I want you to focus on the lower body. So let's see how comfortable we can get those hips as they move back and down. And then extend both arms forward. See if you can get your forehead down to the mat. All right, keep one arm forward. Bring this other arm kind of under the chest, palm up. We're going to slide it under us and try to come down toward that upper arm or shoulder. You can keep the head, forehead down, or you can turn and look the same direction that hand is going. And then once again, we don't want to be way up here. We still want to try to have the hips back as we come into that. All right, let's go ahead and bring that arm back out. Take the other arm, same thing. So the palm comes up, we're gonna slide under the chest and try to get down onto that shoulder or upper arm. And then again, drop those hips back. All right, come on out of that, come back to all fours. All right, so opposite arm and leg balance. We do this fairly often, and the goal is to really work on strengthening that lower back, right? And the stronger our lower back is, number one, it helps protect the back, right? And we also want to keep the abdominals really strong. We want this whole core area to stay strong. It helps us stay upright. It helps us move in and out of any position, not necessarily a yoga transition, right? But getting up off the couch, getting in and out of a car, all these basic things that as we get older can get a little more challenging if we don't stay mindful of them. So here we go. You decide which leg you want to bring up, and I want you to only bring the leg up first, and then adjust it so it's not too high here. It's right at the same level as the other hip, right? We're not opening the hip at all. Push that heel back. Now take the other arm and reach forward. Stretch those fingertips away from you. Take a breath in and out. One more inhale. Exhale, lower them both. Try the other leg. So lift it up. Push the heel back. If it feels like that hip is lifting, I want you to get it aligned with the other hip. All right, pressing that heel back. Other arm, extend it forward. Find your balance. Inhale. Stay there, exhale. Inhale, reach a little further. Exhale, lower. Now, we're going to do each side 2 more times, 1 breath for each movement. So when you're ready, that first leg up, opposite arm, lift up, inhale, and lower, exhale. Other arm and leg, and lower, exhale. Each one more time. Make sure you replace the hand and knee in the same place. And one more time, each arm and leg. All right, come back to all fours. Take a breath in and out. Now keep those hips where they are. Walk the hands forward. Slowly lower your forehead toward the mat. You can always do one arm at a time here. I want you to feel as if you're pressing your armpit or pits to the mat. Right? Feel that stretch through the front of the shoulders. Your head is just resting. If you can't quite get to the mat, feel free to have a towel or a block or something so you can get the forehead down and let all the pressure go into the hands, into the shoulders. 2 more breaths here. And then little by little, bring the hands back, bring the knees wider apart. Now, as you come into child's pose, we're going to start with the arms here. But then I want you to walk both hands to the one side of the mat. So whichever side is close to the mat is going to go here. This other hand, I want you to go even further beyond and then pull the hips back until you really feel that stretch along the ribs, coming out of the shoulder. You might feel it all the way down to the hips. Again, you can do whatever is comfortable with the head. Slowly to the middle and the other side. So just this hand, we don't even have to have the arm straight. It can be relaxed, but this arm, I want you to go as far as you can and then bring the hips back. All right, come back to the middle. Take another breath or two here. We're about to come up into our first downward dog. Whenever you're ready, you're going to bring those toes under, lift the hips up and back. Start to press the sides of the body long. Press out of the hands. The head's just hanging. Keep the tailbone high and gently press your heels toward the mat. Then you can do a little weight shift here, going from one heel to the other. Start to feel this coming further up into the lower part of your legs. And you may not ever get the heels all the way down, that's okay. And then press both heels down again. Make the head move gently, circle it one way and then the other. All right. Bring the knees back down. Now, don't come into child's pose. Keep the knees under the hips. Come up onto your knees. We're going to start out by pressing the hips forward. So just make a little fist, bring it to the back of the pelvis. Press the hips forward, lift your heart, pull your elbows toward each other. Keep the neck long. And come back up. Now, make sure you stay tight through the middle. You can also tuck the toes under if you need a little more stability. We're just going to do a little stretch for the neck here. So what I want you to do is make that little basket for the head, right? We're going to interlace our hands. We're going to bring it right behind the back of the head. Now again, pull the belly nice and tight. As you inhale, I want you to lift your eyes up, let the head drop back a little bit. Stay there, exhale. Now, at no time do you want to be straining that lower back. We're lifting the heart. We're staying tight here. We're lifting the eyes maybe up a little bit more, but we're supporting the head, the weight of our head with our hands, right? So allow the head to come up and back, but stay here. Keep the hands here for that extra support. Excuse me. I have a little bit of a cough. I don't know what it's from. And then come back down. Now, you can stay on your knees a little bit longer. I'm going to face you. Now, gently, what I want you to do is pull this head forward. So it's like we're going to take the chin onto the chest, but we're using the hands to help us get there, but never force it. Gentle, gentle. And as you drop the chin down, you can pull the elbows toward each other, and you feel a nice little stretch in between the top of your shoulder blades. And let's do each one more time. So, excuse me, let me get a drink. Okay, supporting the head, lift the heart, allow the head to come into the hands a little heavier. Again, make sure that you're really tight here. You can tighten up the backside, tighten the abdominal, keep the body in place. Lift up, let the head drop back gently. And then inhale, come back up, and then drop the chin forward. Use the hands to gently pull that head forward. And again, if you want to pull the elbows toward each other, if you can get that nice little stretch right up here at the top of the spine. And inhale and come back up. All right, bring those hands back down. Come to downward dog again. Take a breath or two. When you're ready, I want you to walk the feet forward. Bring the hands as well. Bring them to the top of the mat. You're going to come into your forward bend. Always a good idea to have blocks handy. You never know when you might want to grab them. Use them for support. Anyway, so from your forward bend, roll on up when you're ready. You want to bring yourself upright. Shoulders up and back. So find your mountain pose. Look at the feet. Feel the weight throughout the feet, right? You want to feel grounded. That's your mountain right there. But then the upper body, we want to open it up. We want to feel light through the upper body, crown of the head pulling up. Circle the hands a few times. We've been on the hands a few times, so let those wrists move a little bit. Circle them one way and the other. even making a fist and spreading the fingers out. Any kind of hand movement at any point when you feel that tension in the wrists. Okay. So we're going to do a really slow flow from standing or from mountain pose today. Going in and out of some lunges, going in and out of some warrior work to just kind of get it all done right now. So as always, try to transition out of downward dog, but if that's proving to be too much for today, it just doesn't feel great, you can always choose to just stay at the top of the mat, see where I'm going, join me in that standing pose, or you can maybe go from hands and knees and come up a little differently. Again, don't hesitate to use props or a wall if you need it at any point. Because we're going to go through them fairly quickly, I'm not sure if I'm going to turn the other way. I know that it won't really matter to you, but I hate to talk into the wall. So we'll see how it goes. All right, here we go. Roll the shoulders up and back. We're going to go forward bend series 3 times before we start to move back into that. So start out, first one, take the arms over the head. Now, as the arms are coming up, we're going to look at them as they join. Take a breath in. The exhale, we're going to roll down, hands to the heart, and slowly come into that forward bend and let the head drop. Keep the hands on the floor or the blocks, and just bend the knees and straighten the knees a couple times. All right. Now, when you're ready to come back up, the legs are going to be straight. We're going to contract the belly. The knees can stay a little bit bent if that's helpful, and then we're going to roll it back up. The hands are close to the body. As we're upright, they come away. They come together over the head, and then hands to the heart, and back to mountain pose. Take a breath in and out. And let's try the second one. Inhale. Now you can roll down again, or you can extend through the back as you go into that forward bend. You can allow the head to just hang. Take a breath in and out here. Now hands to the front of the legs or the blocks as we inhale and lift halfway up. Really extend that spine long and straight. Exhale, forward bend. Roll up again if you like, or lead with the crown of the head. As you come up, the heart lifts all the way overhead. Open those arms. Bring them back to mountain pose. Let's try one more time. Take the arms up. Dive or roll. We're going to all meet in our forward bend. Now inhale, lift halfway. Keep the body here. Make sure that as we add some different arm movement, if anything feels weak, like it wants to collapse, I want you to go back to here, or whichever one you felt the strongest in. So pull the belly tighter, take the arms and reach alongside you. We can also now reach kind of to the back corners of our mat, right? Now the palms are facing down. If you have room, I don't really, you can then take the arms straight out from the shoulders, also palms down. Most challenging would be extending the arms alongside the ears, thumbs up. Now that one's hard, so if you feel anything here, I want you to go back to one where you felt a little bit stronger. Take one more full breath in and out here. Inhale again, exhale, forward bend. Next inhale, bring yourself all the way back up and find your mountain pose. Sorry, it's a little sniffly today. Okay, here we go, moving on. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Bring those hands down. Come into your plank or modified plank when you're ready. And you align that plank to make sure that breath comes in. Exhale and lower all the way down. Keep the elbows close. Inhale to cobra. Exhale through child's pose. But then get right into your downward dog when you're ready. Take a breath or two. All right, take your eyes, like right now you're looking back towards your feet. I want you to look forward and kind of think about where you're going to plant that right foot as we come into a lunge. So step through with the right, drop the left knee. Make your way upright. Again, don't hesitate to have blocks nearby if it helps you. As we come up, we're going to push forward. We're really getting a nice long stretch in front of that left hip. Arms come up. If you're too wobbly, you can keep the hands right here. So we're just going to press forward, lift the heart, take the gaze up a little bit. Now bring the hands down, tuck the toes under, bring the left knee up. Come into that higher lunge. Everything's still facing forward. Whenever those arms come up, check every time to make sure they're not coming up by the ears, the shoulders aren't here, but they stay down. All right, so we're in our high lunge. Stay nice and tall. 3 breaths here. Take one more inhale to prepare. Exhale, drop the hands down, step back to downward dog. Again, look forward. You're going to try to bring that left foot not right between the hands, but kind of over toward that left hand. Step it forward. Bring the right knee down. Find that kneeling lunge. Start to move the hips forward. Allow that stretch in front of the right hip. Take the arms up, shoulders down. Find that focus. Excuse me. Probably sounds terrible over the camera. Keep your gaze up, chest lifted. Now we're going to bring the hands down. Remember, we're already contracting the belly because we need to rely on those core muscles to keep us upright. Tuck the toes under. Scoot in a lot or a little. Make your way upright into that higher lunge or crescent moon lunge. Drop the hands, step back to downward dog. And then walk back to the forward bend, come to the top of your mat. And just hang here, grab the opposite elbows. For me, that feels so good, coming up the backs of the legs, right into the hips. And then roll up, take your time, come on up. Bring the arms out and up. Hand to the heart, find your mountain pose. So that was the first series. We're doing one more series, this time going into the warrior poses, and I might have to flip over to the other side. I don't know. Here we go. When we're in these poses, I want you to focus on 2 things. The lower body feeling strong as a base in whatever warrior pose you're in. The upper body feeling lifted and open. All right? Let's think about that. So we're going to start out once again coming into a forward bend. Inhale, bring the arms up. Roll down or dive into that forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Plant your hands again. Come into your plank. Exhale and lower. Inhale, come into cobra. Exhale back to child's pose. Again, we're going to barely be here, but you can still enjoy it. And then back to downward dog. All right, now, this time we are going to step our foot. Oh no, not quite, sorry. Whoops, warrior 1. We're going to still step our right foot a little bit closer to where the right hand is. So whenever you're ready, step that right foot forward. Now you're going to bring this left foot in as you angle it. And as you come upright, if you still don't feel like you can get all the way forward, scoot it in a tiny bit. So that back foot slightly angled, front foot straight ahead. Front knee bent, back leg straight. Pull those hips around, make sure they stay facing forward. Arms up, shoulders down. Take one more full breath here. Now take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, warrior two. Now that right foot comes right in the middle of the mat. Turn your whole body to the left side. This knee's bent, this leg straight in the back. Open the arm and then look forward, look over the right hand. Side angle pose. I want you to lean into the leg. I want you to start by just extending the left hand straight up from the shoulder. Now bring that left arm behind you, either to the left hip, around to the lower back, palm facing out, or tucking all the way into this little right hip crease here. And keep that left shoulder open. Gaze up if you can. All right, allow that left arm to reach straight up, and then extended variation if you like. Again, kind of looking up under that left arm. Next, inhale, come back to warrior two, and reverse warrior. Just bring the arm up, palm facing back. Now back to warrior two. From here, it's a long way down, but we can do it. We're going to get all the way to downward dog. So it happens kind of in a couple of different sections, right? We're going to start to turn the body. At the same time, that heel lifts up. We bring the hands to the mat, and then step or scooch that right leg back, and make your way all the way into your downward dog. And I know I have to turn to the other side. It just never feels good facing the back of the room. If you want to go to child's pose, take a little break, feel free. If you feel like your head's been below the heart for a little too long, you can always come upright and join us when you're ready. Join me when you're ready. All right, so from downward dog, we're going to step left foot through. Again, kind of near that left hand. Right foot coming in. As I come up, I'm going to fix it if I need to. Arms up, shoulders down. So both feet should feel completely firm into the mat. Arches are lifted, everything else pressing into the mat. That's your strong base pose here. Upper body lifted, up and open. Take a full breath in and out. Take another breath in, prepare. Exhale, open to warrior two. Line up those feet. Turn the body. Look over that left hand. Side angle pose. We'll start here. Right arm reaching up. Now bring this right hand either outside the hip, palm out to the lower back, or reaching around toward that hip crease. Again, allowing that shoulder to stay open, gazing up behind. And then extend that right arm back up, and extended angle if you like. And inhale back up. Come find that warrior two. And remember, we have a long way to go from here. We're going to turn, drop the hands, step that left foot back however you can. And then let's bring the knees down. Let's take a little break down here. How are we doing here? Take a little break in child's pose. We'll be meeting back at the top of the mat in just a moment. All right, come back to downward dog. Breath or two here. And then walk your feet back in. Come back to the top of the mat. Forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, come all the way back up. And back to mountain pose. All right, let's do a quick little balance. I'm not going to keep you much past 10, but we started just a couple minutes late, so I'm not rushing to get us back down to the mat just yet. But let's just go ahead and let's just do tree pose for the sake of simplicity. It's the one we do most often, so hopefully you get to see the progression of how it's going for you. And as always, use the wall or door frame, anything that helps you on this one. Begin by finding mountain pose, choosing which leg you want to balance on first, and then as you bring the foot, as you turn the foot, whether it comes off the mat or not, the important thing is pushing that knee to the side, right? So think about where you might want to place your foot. Oh, slippery tights. All right, so we're going to keep the knee out, keep the body tall, chest open. Find a focal point. And once you're there, just take a breath or two. All right, let's go ahead and come back to mountain pose. You know, if you try it and you kind of fall out of it and you try it again and fall out of it, like if that happens to happen, don't hesitate to give yourself some time to relearn the balance by keeping the ball of the foot on the floor. Doesn't mean we have to feel like we're going down, we're still lifting up. But sometimes just having a toe or ball of the foot there, working through the core, working all of that other stuff that comes into the balance is just as important as having the foot off the mat, all right? When you're ready, other side, decide which leg or which level you want to go to. Bring your hands to your heart first. That should feel okay. If that's not happening, that's when we want to start to reset the body. Take the foot lower, optional, right? But if we're okay here, we can then take those arms up. We can open them. We can bring them behind the back. Lots of things to think about. But whatever you do, find that focal point. If your tree falls a little bit, bring it back up if you can. All right, as you come out of the second one, come back to your mountain pose. And if you've moved away from the top of the mat, come on back. We are going to make our way back down. All right, take a full breath in and out here in mountain pose. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Once again, we're going to pause here. We're not holding our breath. We're still breathing. Extend the arm. Stay there. Again, whichever level you like. And then prepare by inhaling, exhaling, forward bend. Step back to your downward dog. Just walk the feet back a little bit. Now I do want you to come onto your knees. You might want to have your blocks handy. Once we're on our knees, I want you to step your right leg forward. The toes are up. I have my left hip and left knee lined up. I've got my blocks here. I'm going to inhale, lift the chest, exhale, forward bend. I'm going to move this out so you can see my upper body's coming, not onto the leg, but coming forward, and I'm not rounding over way back here. I'm lengthening the body and moving forward, even if I don't go down very far. And the blocks can be wherever it helps you the most. All right, now as we come out of that, I want you to shift, put the weight onto the front foot, slide forward beyond that knee, bring the hands, you're only gonna really need a block on the outside of the forward leg. My right leg is forward, so I'm taking the block outside my right hip. I'm going to take my left arm up as I inhale, and as I exhale, I'm going to stretch over to the right. So I've got my right hand on top of the block, left hand reaching up and over. All right, let's come out of that. Bring the right leg back, bring the left foot forward, same thing. Have the blocks back here if you need them. If you can have the hands on the mat, that's fine too. So start out by inhale, kind of lengthen the body. Exhale, so we don't want to sit back here. I want the body to move forward over the left leg. Again, put the blocks wherever you like, put your hands wherever you like. All right, as I come out of that, I'm going to put the left foot down on the mat. I'm going to come more into my lunge. I'm going to take a block outside my left hip. So you want to get into the good lunge first. Make sure the hips feel like they're moving forward. Left hand here, bring the right arm up. Inhale, exhale, stretching over to the left. So don't let the arm come down under the head. Really feel that through the whole right side. And all the way back up. All right. Let's go to child's pose one last time. Take about 3 to 4 breaths here. All right, and then we're going to ease out of that. I want you to come around, come onto your back. You can either roll down slowly, or you can turn to your side and come on down. But once you're all the way down, I want both knees into the chest. So we're going to roll the back a little bit, side to side. See how far over you can roll onto that hip. So the other hip might actually come off the mat. And then circle or concentrate more on circling so the whole lower back's going to stay attached to the mat. And you're going to feel that pressure going around to the lower back in a circular motion. And you're going to make sure you go both ways. All right. Let's bring both feet up. Flex and point them a few times. Maybe make them work opposite each other. And then circle them. Again, whatever you want to do here. Just keep them moving. Now, bring the knees back in. Let's keep the right knee in. Let this left leg stretch all the way up. Start out with both hands pulling the knee in. Now open that right arm. Try to get the shoulder all the way to the floor as you inhale. Exhale, twist. Pull the knee across. Keep the right foot kind of inside that left knee. See how far the knee can go while still allowing that right shoulder to stay on the mat. And turn, look to the right if you can. If that's too much on the neck, eyes up. Okay, let's come onto the back, thread the needle, so take that right foot across the left knee, option to left foot to come up, or not, either way. But do try to keep the upper body relaxed. I know you might have a little tension in the shoulders as you kind of come up and make that connection, but then try to rest the head on the mat for sure. And then we're going to uncross. We're going to roll the back with both knees in. And we're going to keep the left knee in, stretch the right leg all the way out. Take a breath in and out. Take another breath in. Exhale, we're going to twist. Pull the left knee across. Open that left arm to the floor. Keep that left shoulder down. All right. Make your way onto your back. Left foot to the right knee. Option to bring that right foot off the mat. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . shoulder apart, hands to the toes, feet, knees, whatever. We're gonna come into happy baby. Whatever that is for you. So the back really pressing into the mat here. Legs nice and wide. Let's try to relax. All right. And then slowly bring the legs together, bring the knees together. We're going to bring our feet down. Stretch those legs out long. Take the arms overhead. Once you're there, you're going to inhale and get a little bit longer. On the exhale, relax, but keep the arms overhead. Slowly turn your head to one side. Feel that stretch through the neck. Inhale, bring the head up. Exhale, twist the other way. And inhale back, so eyes are up. We're going to inhale, lengthen and stretch again. And then exhale and relax. Stay here another breath or two. And then one last time, full body stretch. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to bring those arms lower than shoulder height. Bring the legs apart a little bit. Close your eyes. How's your body feeling? Start to focus more on breathing, but we still want to be in touch with the body. We want to notice if there is anything that's still feeling like it's not quite ready to relax. We can focus on those areas, allow our breathing to work into that tension. And then just as you're exhaling, just allow that tension to leave the body. All right. I don't want to keep you too long. But if I come back to the camera and you're not there, I'm going to assume you're still in Savasana and enjoying it. If you are ready to come back up, you want to always move slowly. Don't use a lot of energy right now. Stay focused on the breathing. Get the body moving little by little. If you do come back, you can turn your camera on, turn your volume on. There you are. Hi.
Wonderful, Pam. That was awesome.
Oh, good. What's that?
Especially on the shoulders.
Good, good. Yeah, I'm constantly working on the shoulder thing, the neck thing, and if being rounded over is just so bad for us, but it's just kind of how we live our lives. So good. Be aware of it. And throughout the day, do a couple little stretches. Nothing big or anything like that, but make sure you bring the shoulders back and down, and maybe do the little circle, whatever like that. Anyway, thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye. Bye, Mark.